The Elmhurst Historical Museum, located in downtown Elmhurst, is proud to present award-winning exhibits for visitors of all ages. Our Adult Tea Time Talk series, family programs, and special events make learning about history interesting and fun. Admission is free, and on-site parking is available. Visit the Elmhurst Historical Museum soon. Call us today, or go to our website for the latest program details.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Churchville Schoolhouse. My name's Brian Berghager. I'm the director of the Historical Museum, and I'm just thrilled to see you all here this afternoon. Churchville Schoolhouse is a wonderful place. It's a historic gem for the Bensonville and Elmhurst area. You can learn more about the schoolhouse this afternoon as you go into the schoolhouse and have a chance to tour it, but I wanted to share just a little bit of its great history with you. The schoolhouse was built on property donated by the Fisher family in about 1846. So we're not exactly sure when the schoolhouse was built, but it was about 1846. And this spot to my left is the exact spot where it was built. It has not been moved in 150 years. The schoolhouse served as a school for kids in Addison Township, in the Bensonville area and Elmhurst area until about 1930, and then it reverted back to the Fisher family. The school remained in the Fisher family's hands until the mid-1980s, when it was given to Elmhurst Public School District 205. And District 205 had the opportunity at that point to have some school classes here at the Churchville School. In 2001, District 205 presented the schoolhouse to the city of Elmhurst. And since that time, the city conducted an extensive renovation project here at the site. And the result is what you see today. The schoolhouse is managed by the Elmhurst Historical Museum. The museum presents public programs like this. We'll also start this fall with some pilot programs for schools in the area. So school kids will have the opportunity to once again take classes here at Churchville Schoolhouse. The school programs will be both half-day and full-day programs, and kids will be stepping back into time as they enter the schoolhouse. So if any of you are interested in having school classes at the schoolhouse, please contact the Historical Museum. The afternoon's going to be a lot of fun. We have a lot of entertainment. In addition to the tours, we have the Conrad Fisher Elementary School Singers from Elmhurst performing this afternoon. We also have the Green Man Theater Troupe this afternoon reading letters written by the Fisher family during the Civil War era. So you'll be able to learn about what life was like here in the Elmhurst and Bensonville area in that 1860 to 65 period. And we also are pleased to have with us this afternoon members of the Churchville Cemetery Association. The Cemetery Association owns and operates the cemetery that's behind me. And as you'll learn from members of the Cemetery Association, there are actually Civil War veterans buried in the cemetery. So I encourage you to go to the tent to my right and meet with some members of the Cemetery Association and learn a little more history about this great area of Illinois. We also have refreshments in the tent, and the afternoon will be going on until 4 o'clock. I'd like to thank several of our partners. In addition to the Churchville Cemetery Association, I'd like to give a special thanks to the Conrad Fisher Elementary School with Louise Durning, the director of the Singers, also Jane Bailey, the principal at Conrad Fisher, Elmhurst Public School District 205 deserves a big thanks as well. In addition, the Village of Bensonville and Mayor Frank Soto are strong partners in this event today, so we thank them. The two churches across the street also deserve our thanks, as does the City of Elmhurst and Bensonville School District number 2. So with that, I welcome you again, and I hope you have a great time this afternoon, and go home with a little more information and appreciation for Churchville Schoolhouse. With that, I'd like to introduce our other entertainer this afternoon, Mr. Dean Milano. Dean?
Thank you. When you said go home, I thought they're all going to get up and go home all of a sudden. Like, wait, no. All right, I'm going to do some tunes that are from the era of the Civil War. Some of them are connected to the Civil War. Some of them don't have anything to do with the Civil War, but they are from that period. And I might even do a couple of newer songs that are about the Civil War. And some of these are probably recognized. You probably think, oh, I know that song. I didn't know that was from that Civil War era. Well, surprise, surprise. And if you know the words, sing along too. Feel free to jump in and sing along. When Johnny comes marching home again, hurrah, hurrah. When Johnny comes marching home again, hurrah, hurrah. The men will cheer, the boys will shout, the ladies, they will all turn out, and we'll all feel gay when Johnny comes marching home. The old church bell will peal with joy, hurrah, hurrah, to welcome home our darling boy, hurrah, hurrah. The lads and lasses, they will say, the roses, they will strew the way, and we'll all feel gay when Johnny comes marching home. Get ready for the Jubilee, hurrah, hurrah. We'll give the hero 3 times 3, hurrah, hurrah. The laurel wreath is ready now to place upon his loyal brow, and we'll all feel gay when Johnny comes marching home. Let love and friendship on that day, hurrah, hurrah. The choicest pleasures on display, hurrah, hurrah. And let each one perform some part to fill each joy the warrior's heart. We'll all feel gay when Johnny comes marching home. When Johnny comes marching home again, hurrah, hurrah. We'll give a hearty welcome then, hurrah, hurrah. The men will cheer, the boys will shout, the ladies, they will all turn out, and we'll all feel gay when Johnny comes marching home. We'll all feel gay when Johnny comes marching home. Thank you. It's a little song I wrote. I think it's going to be a big hit. I don't know. All right. Stock joke. All right. Here's one you'll probably recognize. And I want to see somebody singing along. Even the kids would know this one. Father and I went down to camp along with Captain Gooding. There we saw the men and boys as thick as hasty pudding. Yankee Doodle, keep it up, Yankee Doodle dandy. Mind the music and the step, and with the girls be handy. You guys know that song? When you get a pat on the head, you're supposed to say, yes, I know that song. Okay, there you go. There was Captain Washington upon a slapping stallion, giving orders to his men, I guess there was a million. And then the feathers on his hat, they looked so tarno fina, I wanted Pockley to give them to my own Jemima. Yankee Doodle, keep it up, Yankee Doodle dandy. Mind the music and the step, and with the girls be handy. And the words might sound a little different than what you're used to, because this is the original lyrics that were written back then. Then we saw a swamping gun, large as a log of maple, upon a deuced little cart, a load for father's cattle. And every time they'd shoot it off, it takes a horn of powder. It makes a noise like father's gun, only a nation louder. Yankee Doodle, keep it up, Yankee Doodle dandy. Mind the music and the step, and with the girls be handy. I went as nigh to one myself, as high as underpinning, and father went as nigh again. I thought the deuce was in him. Yankee Doodle, keep it up, Yankee Doodle dandy. Yankee Doodle, keep it up, and with the girls be handy. Yankee Doodle, keep it up, Yankee Doodle dandy. Mind the music and the step, and with the girls be handy. There you go. How many folks recognize that song? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 112. That's pretty good. All right, here's a song from that era. One of the most beautiful songs from the era, too, I think. And I'm sure you'll agree when you hear it. Oh, Shenandoah, I long to hear you roll away, rolling river. Oh, Shenandoah, I long to hear you. Look away, I'm bound away, across the wide Missouri. Oh, Shenandoah, I love your daughter. Roll away, rolling river. It was for her I'd cross the water. Look away, I'm bound away, across the wide Missouri. For 7 long years I courted Sally. Roll away, rolling river. For 7 more years I long to have her. Look away, I'm bound away, across the wide Missouri. Oh, Shenandoah, I long to hear you roll away, rolling river. Oh, Shenandoah, I long to hear you. Look away, I'm bound away, across the wide Missouri. The wide Missouri, across the wide Missouri. Isn't that a pretty song? Thank you, thank you. I'll do a tune that's a little bit more recent. This is a song that was written about the Civil War back in the late 1960s. And if you're an old hippie like me, you probably remember this tune. And if you remember it, sing along. Virgil Kane is my name, and I served on the Danville train till Storming's cavalry came and tore up the tracks again. In the winter of '65, we were hungry, just barely alive. I pitched a tent in Richmond, it fell. It was a time I remember oh so well. The night they drove old Dixie down, and all the bells are ringing. The night they drove old Dixie down, and all the people were singing. They went la 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 la. Back with my wife in Tennessee, one day she called to me, Virgil, quick, come see, there goes the Robert E. Lee. Now I don't mind chopping wood, and I don't care if the money's no good. You take what you need and you leave the rest, but they should never have taken the very best. The night they drove old Dixie down, and all the bells are ringing. The night they drove old Dixie down, and all the people were singing. They went la 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 la. Like my father before me, I'm a worthy man. And like my brother before me, I took a rebel stand. He was just 18, proud and brave, when a Yankee put him in his grave. I swear by the blood below my feet, you can't raise a cane back up when he's in defeat. The night they drove old Dixie down, and all the bells are ringing. The night they drove old Dixie down, and all the people were singing. They went la 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 la. Thank you. All right, got time for one more. They got CDs and a book for sale over here, too, if you're interested. Check it out. This is a tune that some of you Elvis Presley fans out there will recognize this, and you'll say, wait a minute, that's an Elvis Presley song. Well, it's not really. He took an old song called Ora Lee. That was a famous Civil War song. And they rewrote it with new words, and they called it Love Me Tender. But this is the original version. It's called Ora Lee. It's a beautiful song. As the blackbird in the spring, 'neath the willow tree, sat and piped, I heard him sing, praising Ora Lee. Ora Lee, Ora Lee, maid of golden hair, sunshine came along with me, and swallows in the air. Take my heart and take my ring, I give me all to thee. Take me for eternity, my dearest Ora Lee. Ora Lee, Ora Lee, maid of golden hair, sunshine came along with thee, and swallows in the air. In her blush the rose was born, 'twas music when she spoke. In her eye the light of morn, sparkling seemed to break. Ora Lee, Ora Lee, maid of golden hair, sunshine came along with thee, and swallows in the air. Thank you.
We have a lot more entertainment this afternoon, so I hope you stick around. If you've just arrived in the last 10 or 15 minutes, I want to share with you the program for this afternoon. As I mentioned earlier, there'll be a lot of entertainment going on inside the tent here throughout the afternoon. Dean Milano, who just finished performing, will be back again. A little later this afternoon, we have members of the Green Man Theater Troupe who will be reading letters written by the Fisher family during the Civil War period. Also going on this afternoon, we have members of the Churchville Cemetery Association with us, and they'll be in the tent to my right. Members of the Cemetery Association will be sharing information about the cemetery with you. So I do encourage you to spend a few minutes with members of the Cemetery Association. At the same time, I'd like you to appreciate the age of the cemetery, the age of the schoolhouse, and the age of this site. And with that in mind, I do ask that you not go into the cemetery this afternoon. The cemetery has a number of headstones that date from actually before the Civil War. And for the safety of our guests, as well as for the safety of those headstones, I do ask that you please do not go into the cemetery, but you're more than welcome to walk along the parking lot and the perimeter of the cemetery to look in. As I mentioned earlier, the schoolhouse is managed by the Elmhurst Historical Museum, which is part of the city of Elmhurst. And the program today is brought to you by the city of Elmhurst, the Historical Museum, and also the village of Bensenville. I'd like to introduce, at this time, the mayor of Elmhurst, Mr. Frank DeCiani. Mayor DeCiani.
Thanks, Brian.
Yep.
Thank you, Brian. Welcome, everyone. It's a great day here in Elmhurst and in Bensenville. We're actually technically in Bensenville, but this is the one-room schoolhouse that was a kind of a joint partnership. It started back in the 80s when Pat Zubak and Joan Brundage were able to get this beautiful historical one-room schoolhouse donated to the Elmhurst Public Schools at District 205. And they went through a transition where they were trying to get this one of a kind. Really, it's the only one-room schoolhouse that actually sits on its original site to be rejuvenated, to be brought up to date, so that we could all celebrate it and enjoy it. So it went through a series of trying to raise money, and then the school district said we can't do this ourselves, so they actually turned it over to the city of Elmhurst. And for many, many years, the city's been trying to get grants and whatnot to make this happen. So fortunately, great mayors that were before me helped a lot. And then when I was able to take office, I was able to secure some funding through our state representatives, and we were able to get it done. So, but it's been a long time in the making. A great partnership, not only with all those organizations that brought it to the city, but also the village of Bensenville that allowed us to celebrate it as well. Mayor Frank Soto is here. I know Mayor Frank is around somewhere, and I'm hoping he'll come up and join me here in a minute or two. Frank, are you around? Oh, behind me. Come up here, Frank. Frank and I are both new mayors, and we have a lot of history together, families that know each other for many, many years. But my family originally was from Bensenville. In fact, my uncle Jimmy Diorio was the mayor back in the 70s and 80s. So it's ironic how our histories and our families kind of intertwined. So when Frank and I became mayors, we're like, we really got to get this done. We got to work together. The village of Bensenville actually ran sewer and water to this facility, so we could actually have plumbing here. We've got running bathrooms that are handicap accessible, and we really wanted this to be enjoyed by everybody, no matter what their circumstances. So Mayor Frank, I appreciate your help in doing that. And we've allowed them a partnership with this so that their village can celebrate it just like our city can. So that's how we get things done in these tough times, is we work together and make it happen. So Frank, I'd like to say hello to you and have you come up and maybe say a couple things about Bensenville and the partnership.
All right. Thank you all for coming. The project here turned out amazing, and with all projects like this, years ago, there was a lot of fervor and discord and discontent over what to do, how should bathrooms be, should they not be, little things. But at the end of the day, when you see what occurred here, you realize the planning, the effort, and just the hard work that went into making that vision become a reality. So I'd like to thank the Fisher family, who I know are here, for the original donation and the work that they did preserving the property for a number of years. Again, the Historical Society in Elmhurst, you guys had the vision, the concept, the idea. You helped bring this thing so close to becoming a reality, and all the other people that worked on this effort. And then, for the two towns, just to be able to take on a little bit of responsibility and make this become a reality. So it was a pleasure for the residents of Bensonville to be able to work with Elmhurst. And, at the end of the day, we have a wonderful facility that our kids can really appreciate and enjoy. And this property that wasn't being utilized and appreciated now is. So I thank all the people from Elmhurst for all the hard work you did making this become a reality. Thank you.
Thanks, Frank. People often wonder what's the historical significance of this building. This building was around when Abraham Lincoln was a congressman. So that's how old and how significant it is. It's the last, I believe, the only one-room schoolhouse that is actually rejuvenated and sits on its original site that's open to the public. So it is really something that I think is fortunate enough that we can celebrate, remember our history as we go into our future. And today we're going to have a group of young children from Churchville actually do a nice little play for us and celebrate the history of the Elmhurst. Conrad Fisher. Oh, Conrad Fisher. And I know I saw some teachers there from Churchville, too. So Conrad Fisher, we welcome the kids and look forward to the celebration. God bless everybody, and thanks for coming out today.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Churchville Schoolhouse. I'm Brian Berghager, the director of the Elmhurst Historical Museum. And I'm very, very pleased to see all of you here this afternoon. This is a special afternoon at Churchville One-Room Schoolhouse. We've had some great entertainment so far, and we have some wonderful entertainment to come. Our entertainment coming up is who? Who's our entertainment? Can anybody tell me? Let's hear it. Our entertainment this afternoon is Conrad Fisher Elementary School Singers. Conrad Fisher Elementary School is one of the elementary schools operated by District 205 in Elmhurst. District 205 is a wonderful partner of many community organizations, and we've been pleased at the Historical Museum to partner with 205 in many, many ways throughout the years. So I'd like to thank District 205. There are several 205 board members here this afternoon. Karen Stufen, John McDonough, Maria Hirsch. I saw all of them here this afternoon. So we thank 205 for all of its support to make this program possible. This type of program requires a great deal of effort, a great deal of energy, and a great deal of enthusiasm. And I saw all of that here on Friday afternoon when I had the pleasure of watching a rehearsal. So I'm pleased to introduce to you this afternoon the principal of Conrad Fisher Elementary School, Jane Bailey.
Thank you, Mr. Berghager. If you were not here with us at our earlier presentation, prepare to be amazed. In her best-known and loved novel, author Louisa May Alcott depicts a touching scene where 4 little girls and their mothers read a letter from Father, who's serving as chaplain during the Civil War. In his letter, Father writes, "I know the children will remember all I said to them, that they will be loving children, will do their duty faithfully, fight their bosom enemies bravely, and conquer themselves so beautifully that when I come back to them, I may be fonder and prouder than ever of my little women." Those children were just like their real-life counterparts, loved, fought, suffered, lost, and experienced great joy during the years of the war between the states. Today, our children from Fisher School have the opportunity to share with you the great joy found in the music that was part of our American way of life during those years. Imitating the fathers and brothers who marched off to battle, children paraded about their schoolyards, hearing in their imaginations the blare of the bugle, the snap of the drum, and the saw of the sailor's fiddle. They also reveled in the music brought to them from visiting minstrels who had gathered tunes from plantations, porches, hills, and harbors. Together, all of this music became part of the child's life and therefore his play. 150 years later, it is still sparkling and alive. Old Dan Tucker is a Virginian minstrel song of boasts and nonsense dating back to the antebellum period. Its simple melody and catchy rhythm make it a perfect breakdown, as much a favorite of children now as then. Written in Ohio, Cairo has distinct frontier echoes, a variant of Little Liza Jane, popular in both black and white musical traditions. This play party celebrates the southern Illinois city where men came to dance with their boots blackened and shined. Child's play for the 8-year-olds in Tucker and a more sophisticated grand right and left for the 11-year-olds in Cairo. This couplet of circle dances begins our programs of songs from the Civil War states.
Ready? Let's have some fun. Tucker, where is Tucker?
Old Dan Tucker, get out the way. Old Dan Tucker, get out the way. Old Dan Tucker, you're too late to get your supper.
Come on, go! Take it, baby.
Old Dan Tucker, mighty man, he washed his face in a frying pan. He combed his hair with a wagon wheel and had a toothache in his heel. So get out the way, old Dan Tucker, get out the way. Old Dan Tucker, get out the way. Old Dan Tucker, you're too late to get your supper. Old Dan Tucker came to town, riding a billy goat, leading a hound. A hound dog barked and Billy Goat jumped, then fell off and landed on his bum. So get out the way, old Dan Tucker, get out the way. Old Dan Tucker, get out the way. Old Dan Tucker, you're too late to get your supper.
Come on, now.
Going down Skid Row, goodbye and bye-bye. Going down Skid Row, goodbye, Liza Jane. Like the moon said, make them shine, goodbye and bye-bye. Like the moon said, make them shine, goodbye, Liza Jane.
Come on, now.
Going down Skid Row, goodbye and bye-bye. Going down Skid Row, goodbye, Liza Jane. Old cow died and how I cried, goodbye and bye-bye. Old cow died and how I cried, goodbye, Liza Jane. Going down Skid Row, goodbye and bye-bye. Going down Skid Row, goodbye, Liza Jane. Going down Skid Row, goodbye and
The Pourquoi story is a folktale that explains how or why something came to exist. In his Just So stories, the author, Rudyard Kipling, explored this concept, as did the ancient storyteller Aesop. Also known as Leather-Winged Bat, Pourquoi originated in the mountains of West Virginia and is set in a hunting, mixolydian mode. To reflect the stately quality of the music, the figures of kings and queens from the New England dancing masters gave this song the feeling of a historic English country dance. Bile Dumb Cabbage, on the other hand, speaks of far more humble origins. First heard in Arkansas, this piece is sung in the vernacular and references a variety of critters and insects. A breakfast of cabbage soup and biscuits is the food of simple folk, but the singer reminds the listener of the important life lessons found within the plain truth, poking fun at the humorous lyrics the boys from a long way set, and a good time is enjoyed by everyone.
I said the little leather-winged bat, I'll tell you the reason that I fly by night is because I lost my heart's delight. Howdy dowdy diddle-o-day, howdy dowdy diddle-o-day, howdy dowdy diddle-o-day, howdy dowdy diddle-o-day. I said the blackbird sitting on a chair, once I courted a lady fair. She proved fickle and turned her back, and ever since then I've dressed in black. Howdy dowdy diddle-o-day, howdy dowdy diddle-o-day, howdy dowdy diddle-o-day, howdy dowdy diddle-o-day.
I said the woodpecker sitting in the grass, once I courted a bonny lass. She proved fickle and from me fled, and ever since then my head's been red.
Howdy dowdy diddle-o-day, howdy dowdy diddle-o-day, howdy dowdy diddle-o-day, howdy dowdy diddle-o-day. I said the green finch as he flew, I loved one that proved untrue, and since she will no more be seen, every spring I change to green. Howdy dowdy diddle-o-day, 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 howdy dowdy diddle-o-day. The raccoon's got a burger, the possum's tail is bare, the rabbit's got no tail, but little bitty wants your hat. Down, down, bake them biscuits down. The only tune I ever did learn is volunteers down. The June bug, he has wings, and so the firefly wings of flame. The bedbug's got no wings at all, but he gets there just the same. Volunteers down, down, bake them biscuits down. The only tune I ever did learn is volunteers down.
Loving is a killing fit when beauty hits a blossom, and if you want your finger bit, just poke it at a possum.
Volunteers down, down, bake them biscuits down. The only tune I ever did learn is volunteers down. Volunteers down, down, bake them biscuits down. The only tune I ever did learn is volunteers down.
to the musical archivist John Lomax, one of the earliest versions of the song Cindy, or Get Along Home Little Cindy, came from a collection of folk tales about plantation life in North Carolina. Frequently included in school music series as a typical American folk song, this delightful tune is filled with nonsense and pretend flattery. Our dance is done as a circle mixer for the girls and features a delightfully evocative figure called Dip for the Oyster, Dive for the Clam, where the girls take turns going under and coming out from the arch of their opposites while rotating counterclockwise. With a tuneful refrain, this song conjures images of our primitive past.
Cindy, Cindy, let's go, Cindy.
I wish I was an apple hanging on a tree, and every time my Cindy passed, she'd take a bite of me. You ought to see my Cindy, she lives away down south. She is so sweet, the honey bees will swarm around her mouth. Get along home, Cindy, get along home, Cindy, get along home, Cindy, I'll marry you someday. She took me to her parlor, she cooled me with her fans. She swore I was the prettiest thing in the shape of mortal man. I wish I had a needle as fine as I could sew. I'd sew that gal to my coattail, and down the road I'd go. Get along home, Cindy, get along home, Cindy, get along home, Cindy, I'll marry you someday.
Now Cindy is a pretty girl. Cindy is a peach. She threw her arms around my neck and hugged me like a leech. Now Cindy has a blue eye. She also has one brown. One eye looked in the country, the other looked in town.
Get along home, Cindy, get along home, Cindy, get along home, Cindy, I'll marry you someday. Get along home, Cindy, get along home, get along home, I'll marry you someday.
Ew. Boom, boom.
We would like to thank the Elmhurst Heritage Foundation, especially Mrs. Eileen Murphy, for inviting us to share our music with you this afternoon. The children of Fisher School understand and appreciate their strong link with this special schoolhouse and hope that this program has helped to turn back the hands of time for all of you here today. The last piece we would like to share is actually a wonderful new setting by Emily Crocker of 3 Civil War favorites entitled Soldier's Joy. Part of the American Fiddle canon, Soldier's Joy is one of the oldest, most widely distributed tunes of the English-speaking world. This particular setting adds Old Joe Clark, a tune from Kentucky. You might detect the hornpipe in this segment, a musical form played and danced in Britain from the late 17th century sailing vessels. Movements were familiar to sailors looking out to sea with a right, then a left, all while lurching in heavy weather. We've also added a twistification where a person's hands pile on top of the others to make an assemblage of layers. The song Sail Away Ladies was popular as dance music between the Revolutionary and Civil Wars and was originally heard in Tennessee. Our fiddlers today are Barbara Scott and Jim Staschulte.
Don't you rock 'em, Daddy-O!
There's a final tune called Soldier's Joy. There's a final tune, I say. There's a final tune called Soldier's Joy. It'll all live one day.
Good job, Amanda.
My little ding dong, little I see. My little ding dong. Daddy-o, don't you rock 'em, Daddy-o. There's a final tune called Soldier's Joy, the final tune I say. There's a final tune called Soldier's Joy, we'll live long day. There's a final tune I say. There's a final tune called Soldier's Joy, a fiddle on the live long day. I diddle ding dong diddle I dee. I diddle ding dong day. I diddle ding dong diddle I dee. Fiddle on the live long day. Fiddle on the live long day.
All right, you girls, nicely done. Gracie.
You know, I discovered something today. Conrad Fisher Elementary School rules. Let's give it up again. We'd like to thank all of you. We'd like to thank Miss Durning and your principal, Ms. Bailey. Thank you all, and our accompanists. It was wonderful to have you here this afternoon. I'd like to introduce Mr. Tom Klein, the president of Elmhurst Heritage Foundation. Tom?
Thanks, Brian, and glad you're all here. You know, I saw your smiling faces, and I'm thinking, tomorrow I got to go to work. You guys got to go to school, right? Keep that smile tomorrow. We'll all keep the smile when we go to work tomorrow, right? Right? Everybody? All right. Beautiful. Thanks. So today was a great example of a partnership between the Village of Bensonville, providing the safety folks out there, as well as what ultimately happened here with the Churchville Schoolhouse, the City of Elmhurst, the Elmhurst Historical Museum, District 205, Conrad Fisher School, and the Elmhurst Heritage Foundation. And so we like to also thank the school children as well as Ms. Durning here. Ms. Durning, we're ready for you. We're ready for you. We have to thank, because not just this partnership in terms of all these governmental entities and these units, but also the partnership in bringing your school children, your classes together, your whole school, to bring history to life. And so as part of that, we have a donation from the Elmhurst Heritage Foundation for your program to help defray some of the costs here. So I'd like to give you that. And then we also have some flowers for you. So thank you very much, and thank you, kids.
Hey, good afternoon. I'm Brian Berghager. I'm the director of the Elmhurst Historical Museum. I'd like to welcome you all here this afternoon. We've had some great entertainment so far. There's lots more to come along throughout the rest of the afternoon. I want to give you a short message about Elmhurst Historical Museum. Elmhurst Historical Museum manages the Churchville Schoolhouse. And this year, the Historical Museum, along with many other organizations in Elmhurst, are commemorating the anniversary of the beginning of the Civil War. Thus, this program is part of that commemoration of 150 years since the beginning of the Civil War. Opening this coming week, on Tuesday, will be 2 exhibits at the Historical Museum related to the Civil War. The first exhibit is called Between the States, and it's a traveling exhibit on a national tour. It's an exhibit that was put together by the George Eastman House in Rochester, New York, an exhibit of photographs of the Civil War. So I encourage you to visit with us at the Historical Museum to see this exhibit. Opens this Tuesday, September 27th. The exhibit, as I mentioned, is on a national tour. Elmhurst Historical Museum is only the second venue for the tour, so it's a brand new exhibit that's going to be touring the nation. Now, the other exhibit that's opening on Tuesday, September 27th is called Letters from Home. And Letters from Home is a message that is much closer to Elmhurst and to Bensonville. Letters from Home is based on a number of letters that are in the museum's collection, letters that were written by members of the Fisher family to two sons who were serving in the Union forces during the Civil War. So the letters present a vivid account of life in this area, of life on the battlefields, of Army life during the Civil War. And it brings it home to Elmhurst and Bensonville. We're fortunate for the Letters from Home exhibit to have some great partners. One of those partners is the Elmhurst Artists Guild. The Artists Guild's created brand new original works of art inspired by those letters. So those works of art will also be in the gallery. The other partner that I'd like to mention is Green Man Theater Troupe. Green Man Theater Troupe is a very talented bunch of actors and actresses from the area. We partnered with them in the past, and we were happy, very happy, to have them back with us again for this project. Green Man Theater Troupe's here this afternoon to share with you some of those letters written between 1861 and 1865 from this very area that we're standing on today. I'd like to introduce Green Man Theater Troupe. Please join me in welcoming Corey Sandrock, Tim Albert, Katie Monahan, and Steve Schroeder. Corey?
Thank you. And as Brian said, we are Green Man Theater Troupe, and we are your very own community theater right here in Elmhurst. We have been doing plays here for many years, and we have an exciting season coming up this year. So if you would like information about the season, we have some brochures at the back. And our first play, Raven's Cross, is getting ready for our fall opening, so there's some information about that as well. But more importantly, as Brian said, we got a chance to participate in this great exhibit and provide all of the audio that you will hear when you tour the exhibit at the museum. So all of us were involved in recording the audio for that exhibit, and today we will be sharing with you a short excerpt from some of the letters that will be a part of that exhibit. But before you get to hear from us in costume, we have a special treat. One of the very own Fisher family members, Bob Fisher, is going to read a letter from his actual relative that was sent to Frederick Fisher, I believe, on the battlefield. And so Bob is here today to give us a little sense of how an actual Fisher family member can share in the Civil War. So, Bob, thank you very much.
Hello, thank you. I just wanted a chance for the family to say thank you to everyone involved with keeping some of the history alive. We really appreciate it. And I have a letter here from Fort Negley, Nashville, November 28, 1863. Dear Father, yours of the 17th has come to hand a while ago, but as I know nothing interesting to write, I did not answer it immediately. It gave me much pleasure in learning that you are all in good health yet. As far as I am concerned, I am as healthy as I have ever been. So is also the majority of our company, except a few cases. Louis Schmidt, I am sorry to say, is not well off. The doctor says that he has a slow fever. John Schmidt is doing light duty. He is not very strong yet. A. Mish and H. Heller have returned to the company. I have not heard from Frederick since the 4th of July. When you write, please send his address. We received our pay a few days ago, and I sent $80 by express yesterday. There was another battle over here. Our forces succeeded in dislodging the enemy. Nearly 2,000 prisoners arrived here yesterday evening. Give my best respects and wishes to all at home, friends and relations, and accept the same from your affectionate son, A.H. Fisher. Thank you, everyone.
Ready? Mm-hmm. This is from H.D. Fisher to his son Frederick. February 27th, 1862. Dear son, yours of the 19th I have received and should have answered it immediately, but could not get time very well until today. The arguments in your last letter are right enough. I cannot help to agree with you in most instances, but I believe if you conclude to go into farming, it is getting time for you to be on a farm and learn to get used to everything which is necessary to be a good farmer, which is by no means a very easy task. As far as I am personally concerned, I think it'll answer well for me if you stay at home and help to manage the farm. I perceive that I am a great deal more bothered since Henry has left us, and as I am getting older, my strength is diminishing, but cannot help it. I will try to get along the best way I can. Expecting to hear from you again soon, I will close and remain your affectionate father, H.D. Fisher.
From Augustus Fisher to his brother Frederick, December 7th, 1862. Dear brother, yours of the 4th November has been duly received yesterday. You say of my spirits being below par, that was a good deal, so at first, as unexperienced as I was, but it is getting better the longer we are here. The boys begin to know their duty and do it, and our company has the reputation of being one of the best companies in the regiment, of which I feel proud, and which also make the boys feel so proud. Some of the best men don't care much about some officers, but I will close in hope of soon hearing from you. I am your affectionate brother, A.H. Fisher.
From Herman Fisher to his brother Frederick, October 1st, 1863. Dear brother, our cousins are exasperated because you do not write to them. Some few weeks ago Sunday, Miss Caroline spoke about it. She called you, I don't know what, and stated that perhaps she would write to you, but she was afraid you would not answer. I assured her you would, but she hesitated, thinking it unbecoming to write to a soldier or any other man without being asked by him. If you wish to avoid being lectured by the young ladies on your return, make peace with them by satisfying their desires immediately. In hopes of speedy answer, I remain, in haste, your brother, Herman.
From Augustus Fisher to his brother Frederick, December 3rd, 1863. Your welcome letter dated October 3rd has just come to hand and contents noted. I was much pleased to learn that you was well yet. We have been at Nashville over 3 months now, although we have to go on picket duty and train guard duty. Trains run from here to Stevenson, Alabama, 113 miles, and sometimes to Bridgeport, Alabama, 10 miles further. A trip generally takes 2 days, that is if they go on time, but so many accidents happen on account of the bad track that it sometimes takes 3 or 4 days and even a whole week. But I am afraid that I occupy your time too much, as I have nothing of any importance to write. Therefore, I will close for this time by giving you and all acquaintances my best wishes and respects, hoping soon to receive an answer. Your affectionate brother, A.H. Fisher.
From Henry Fisher to his brother Frederick, January 31st, 1864. Yours of the 28th December was received a few days ago, and I acknowledge that we have been backward in corresponding. I hope it is excusable. Though it appears that you think it a trouble to me to read letters from you, this is a mistake, for I can and with pleasure do read letters from you, while I hold my little Alvina, which is not an unpleasant task neither, for she is a very pleasant little thing. She is very healthy, with cheeks as red as rosebuds. Although 11 months old, she cannot walk, but is growing very strong now, and I hope will soon learn. Next summer, I think we will have her likeness taken, and if you do not come home, we will send it. Dear brother, I would write more, but have no writing paper in the house, so you must excuse your brother, H.F.
From H.D. Fisher to his son Frederick, February 14th, 1864. Dear Fritz, I received your letter from January 4th, and am very happy that you are relatively healthy, which I can also say about myself, from Mother, your brothers, your sister, and all our relatives and friends. Have you heard how your brother August is doing? He has not written recently, but did send home a coat and a blanket. Many others in his company did the same, since they probably have to leave Nashville for, what is it called? Bridgeport by Chattanooga.
From George Fisher to his brother Frederick, February 14th, 1864. Dear brother, we received your letter and we're very glad that you wrote again. We have not received a letter from August for a long while. We have had a nice skating ice and we have been running skates like thunder, but it is getting warmer here and the ice is melting again. As I do not know any more to write, I will close by giving you my best respect. Yours truly, Brother George.
From Augustus Fisher to his brother Frederick, February 15th, 1864. Dear brother, I received your letter dated January 16th yesterday while on picket, and therefore could not answer immediately. I have been waiting anxiously for a letter from you, and was therefore very much pleased to learn that you was yet in good health. I was also glad to learn that you did not have very hard times, because after having been in the service nearly 2.5 years, and such hard service too, as you have had, I think it must be quite a pleasure to live in houses. Yesterday, we received orders that 5% of the troops were allowed to go home on furloughs. I think our regiment has been very lucky in most all cases. This is the second time that men have been furloughed in our regiment since we left Chicago, while some regiments that have been in longer than we have not had the same opportunities. But I will not detain you any longer at present, so I will close by giving you and all old acquaintances my best respects. Your affectionate brother, A.H. Fisher.
From Herman Fisher to his brother Frederick, March 13th, 1864. Dear brother, I admit that I was somewhat astonished when I learned from your letter to Father that you did not re-enlist. But I was agreeably astonished when I read your letter, for when Father told me of it, I rather thought that you was really sacrificing your desire of re-enlisting. But when I read your letter, I found that you had other reasons for not doing so. For I think you have done enough. And if any further soldiers should be needed after your time is up, then I hope you will be content to stay at home and let me enlist. For as long as you are gone, I will have to stay at home. Last Thursday evening, Governor Yates speeched in Bryant Hall, and I went to hear him. I was pleased with the entertainment, and he said, "The meanest creature that God ever made, if he ever did make him, is a copperhead." I will try to get the Tribune when I get back to Chicago and send that to you that you can read the speech yourself. Your brother, Herman.
Thank you very much. This is a brief example of some of the letters that will be included in the exhibit, and we'll be back in a little while to read a few more. And in the meantime, I believe you're going to get to hear the wonderful students from Conrad Fisher School yet again. So thank you very much, and we'll see you in a little bit.
I would like to give you a short message about Elmhurst Heritage Foundation. As Tom mentioned, Elmhurst Heritage Foundation is the support arm of the Elmhurst Historical Museum. The foundation is an advocacy and fundraising arm for the Historical Museum. Without the work of Elmhurst Heritage Foundation, programs like this don't happen. The one-room schoolhouse restoration project, which took a number of years, was funded in part by the Elmhurst Heritage Foundation. So I'd ask you this afternoon to please take a few minutes when you have time, visit some of the board members at the back of the room to learn about the Heritage Foundation and its work here in the Elmhurst area. You can even become a member of the Elmhurst Heritage Foundation to support projects like this. Thank you.
When Johnny comes marching home again, hurrah, hurrah. When Johnny comes marching home again, hurrah, hurrah. The men will cheer, the boys will shout, the ladies, they will all turn out, and we'll all feel gay when Johnny comes marching home. The old church bell will peal with joy, hurrah, hurrah, to welcome home our darling boy, hurrah, hurrah. The lads and lasses, they will say, the roses, they will strew the way, and we'll all feel gay when Johnny comes marching home. Get ready for the Jubilee, hurrah, hurrah. We'll give the hero 3 times 3, hurrah, hurrah. The laurel wreath is ready now to place upon his loyal brow, and we'll all feel gay when Johnny comes marching home. Let love and friendship on that day, hurrah, hurrah. The choicest pleasures on display, hurrah, hurrah. And let each one perform some part to fill each joy the warrior's heart. We'll all feel gay when Johnny comes marching home. When Johnny comes marching home again, hurrah, hurrah. We'll give a hearty welcome then, hurrah, hurrah. la. The men will cheer, the boys will shout, the ladies, they will all turn out, and we'll all feel gay when Johnny comes marching home. And I'll feel gay when Johnny comes marching home.
The Elmhurst Historical Museum, located in downtown Elmhurst, is proud to present award-winning exhibits for visitors of all ages. Our Adult Tea Time Talk series, family programs, and special events make learning about history interesting and fun. Admission is free, and on-site parking is available. Visit the Elmhurst Historical Museum soon. Call us today, or go to our website for the latest program details.